Tanya Petrovna hat 1994 Native Foods gegründet. Als erste vegane Restaurantkette wurde diese bekannt und vielleicht hat auch der ein oder andere schon von euch dort gegessen. Ich hatte die Möglichkeit, sie persönlich in Palm Springs zu besuchen, dort wo das Ganze angefangen hat, habe dort ganz lecker mit ihr gegessen und danach ein wunderschönes Interview in ihrer Tiki-Hut geführt. Also viel Spaß bei dem Interview über vegane Inspiration und wie die Zukunft aussieht. I'm in here with Tanya Petrovna, and hopefully I pronounced the surname correct, but I do, I think.
Yes.
That's nice. Thank you for having us here in your family home, actually, in Palm Springs. That's right, not Palm Desert, Palm Springs, right?
Palm Springs, California, yes, sir.
And you are very well known, everyone knows you, in the US, in Germany probably not so much now, who knows, maybe there's coming something in the future where everybody knows you in the world, I heard.
Oh. I hate when that rumor gets out.
No.
Okay.
And
our secret.
yeah, top secret. No, but you're well known for native foods that a lot of people know here as vegan restaurant chain. That you are not anymore connected, but you are the founder of the company. And so at this stage there are over 15, 16 stores I think right now, so everywhere around the US. And a lot of people want to know is like how you can have the idea to found a vegan restaurant chain, because there's no vegan restaurant chain in Germany now. So what got you inspired to do that many years ago?
There's no vegan restaurant chain in Germany? That's kind of where the inspiration comes from. First, the thought that something doesn't exist, and then the thought to make it exist. But more than that, it's not just anything to exist. It's, for me, it was food with a mission, food that people could enjoy, really enjoy, because I grew up in America. My parents were European, but I was used to really good, fresh cooked food. And we'd go out and food was like, eh. So when I saw it happen with vegetarianism in the 70s, I became a vegetarian. And when I went to have the food, it was like beans and rice. People maybe had good intentions, but the food was very flat. And I was used to my mother's really good cooking. So I always wished, wouldn't it be great if there was a place we could go that was vegetarian and now vegan, that's just really, really good, that people don't care what they ate. People came to my house to eat my mom's food. They didn't care what it was. They just knew that it was good. So what if it was that without any meat products? And for me, that was important because I loved animals as a kid. Since I started with find a cat when I was in the first trip to Yugoslavia, the then Yugoslavia, I saw a cat and I learned, it was the first word I learned, Machka, Machka. And so I, being a fan of animals, at some point I thought, I really don't want to eat them anymore. What was that bumper sticker I saw? If you love animals called pets, why do you eat animals called dinner? It stuck deep. So as I'd go out and go to college and always go to get something to eat, I always found that the vegetarian meal was always the least satisfying. And I really had this burning desire with the knowledge I had. And then renting a room from a woman in college, she was making fresh tempeh and seitan. And I tried these two new foods that added such a medium and a texture that I thought, wow, what if as a chef, you know, it's just more colors for your palate, so to speak. And then I opened my first restaurant and became a chef. And then that's how that came to be. I studied biology in college, so I was like the science of it. But then for the animals was important, but I was always liking the health and nutrition aspect. We practiced yoga and we'd swim every summer. It was always, health was always a part of my lifestyle, or I wanted it to be more. And you know, you read about vegetarianism. Everybody told me to, actually, when I became 18. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to become, I'm an adult. I'm going to become a vegetarian. And everybody was a little worried. You know, you better read about it. Oh, okay. Because, you know, you need all. So I read and read, and I thought, you know, the people that are telling me to read this are not reading it themselves, because if they were, everybody would be vegetarian. Because it was so statistically for your health, for all kinds of things. And I didn't mean, I wasn't reading about how to be a Coke and potato chip vegetarian. I was just reading in general the nutrition you get from, say, legumes, those great little lentils, you know, just, anyway, nothing said no. So I make the list. They say, make a list, all the yeses and the nos, what the good is about something you want to do and the bad. And there was really nothing bad. So I thought, well, let's go for it. So that's sort of how it came to be. So it was a need that needed to be fulfilled. And now that you tell me Germany has no vegan chain, I'm
not
excited. It was also part of the chain idea for the chain was to make this accessible. So when people knew that it was really good and enjoyed it, then they could know this. And when they travel somewhere or went somewhere, you could always get a safe, healthy meal. So as long as I created it, there was a choice. So far, there hadn't been any choices. So I thought, if anything, I'm giving people a choice. So if people care about the environment, the animals, the health, whatever reason they had, they needed a choice. And by offering the choice, I think we could do more for the world. And that was my passion.
Wow. That's a big story, actually, that will take probably an entire interview for over days that you tell us about it. So what do you think changed from the time when you started to be vegetarian or vegan to now, to 2015? What is the big difference between the past and now?
People are willing to try more than they ever were. I give the example of my first restaurant, being just about 30 years old, you know, young and excited. Who would come into somebody's business knowing that they've just opened? Usually people say congratulations, but the fear of vegetarian food was so strong. I remember this man walked in with a woman and said, across the room he yells, I didn't want to come here, she did. Points to this woman, and I thought, oh my goodness, wow, you know, everybody lost their whole manners. They were so afraid to try a vegetarian meal. And now it's not like that. Everyone has a friend that's vegetarian. The young people today, it's great. College kids, everybody has a friend that's vegan, so it's not weird anymore. So it's mainstream. And then the products that are available, much more so. And now I maybe was the first vegan chain to start. There's certainly, it's not true anymore. There's so many more vegan, more chains popping up, but also more restaurants, more choices on every menu. People, it's just fun to go out and eat vegan now.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, that's the big difference, I would say. It's fun. There's a lot of choices out there.
So, you as a founder of a vegan restaurant chain, how you would inspire people back in Germany, all over the world, to maybe open a vegan business, a vegan restaurant, or anything that is connected to veganism or vegetarianism? How you would inspire them to say, going further with their ideas, maybe?
Well, when I was on an elephant expedition, saving elephants in Nepal with Elephant Aid International, one of the Nepalese terms they always say is, and it's a great line, it's, why not? So you would ask for something and they'd say, why not? And so I would say my inspiration would be, why not? But also from a business point of view, you have great food costs. You're dealing with something that starts from the ground up. There was a great ad years ago that did vegetarian products and said, don't let this guy beat you to the table. Be the first on the food chain. It was a picture of a bull, a snorting bull. And I thought, yeah, be the first on the food chain. Eat low on the food chain. And that's what Native Foods was about. Indigenous to all cultures. There's something that's starting in the ground. So it's affordable. It certainly translates in business to your food costs. And to know that you're making a difference for the betterment of the entire planet and the environment. And even if you just did it for business reasons alone, every marketing plug you'd want deals with it. If you have a conscious and really care about health, the environment today, the animals, factory farming, you know, if all those things kind of bug you and you want to make a change, go for it. I mean, you'll make such a big change. And one, you make people happy, and the world always needs a little more of that. To come in and have a great meal makes you happy.
That's great. So you said that you do also business consultant in the past. I mean, we just talked before the interview about it, that we often go, both of us go in big restaurant chains or going in big hotels, having a meal and asking for vegan food, and both wondering, it's like, why they don't mark their vegan food, why they don't mark the vegetarian food on their menu. I mean, what you can actually, as a business owner or ex-business owner, can tell people or tell chefs what they should do or recommend them? Or how do you inspire them to just change things on their menu?
Well, you make it So first you have to learn what the word means, you know. As a chef, I think that's your duty to learn and continue to learn about new foods, food products, their ingredients, and know where your food comes from. I think farm to table is kind of the buzzword going on now, and everybody's kind of hip to that. And whether they care or not about it, enough about it, again, for business it works. And if you're a chef, it's your art. You want to know what's out there. So I think when you know the ingredients, you know how easy it is to make something vegan, or always have that in your build of your food product, know what you can put in or out to make it vegan. There's also more products coming available, and I think you should definitely find out about those and keep up with them to make it easy for you, because I know in some big kitchens it's very hard for them to make everything from scratch.
That's right.
But there's certain things that are becoming more available that they can buy that would just placate that special needs customer, and maybe not special needs, but special dietary requests. But it's silly not to, because it's a market. I mean, already the National Restaurant Association in this country says 25% of your menu should be vegetarian.
Wow.
Most people, and this is old statistics, most people go out, have a vegetarian meal, and don't really know it. They have a vegetarian pizza, or they'll have something, soups, you know.
Salads.
Yes,
Yeah.
and more people are looking for those meals. So it's a chef's ability to make them really good and enticing and something different, you know. And I think just do a little bit of research. Google is a great thing.
That's right. So we encourage chefs, let's do it.
Yeah.
Put vegan stuff on your menu.
Right. Go to my
Don't wait.
website. Go
Don't
look.
to your
Yeah.
website.
You know. I mean,
Go
check it out.
online.
I give recipes and hints and
And as you said,
contact
it
me.
will help your food cost. Also, it will
Right.
be, and you will be more creative, I guess, right?
Well, you know, we talked about that a little bit during wars and things. We've had families that have lived through certain
Difficult times.
difficult
yeah.
times where there's no food, and what people will treasure recipes that come out of cabbage. My dad showed me some great cabbage recipes, because during the war, this is all they had, and it's like, oh my gosh, they called it poor man's food, you know.
Yeah.
The poor man's food, nobody knew it was poor man's food because it was so delicious. Well, that's what creativity can do.
So no one can predict the future, right? I mean, except you? No.
No,
Who knows? But what do you think when, I mean, you're looking in a few decades of being vegan and vegetarian and having a business, what do you think, look, the next 20, 30 years when we talk about vegan food? What will change? What will be the future when you think about vegan food?
I think it'll be historical. I hope the word, anyway, becomes historical, and that it's not used, because sometimes it's used as a separation, like it's an us and them thing. Well, they're vegan, I'm not vegan. And once I heard it put, well, vegan, it's kind of a dietary choice. It's not
That's
who
right.
I am. I mean, I'm many things. But I think we'll probably transcend that, and it'll just be food, and it'll discuss what the food is. Maybe they won't call beef, they'll call it cow. They won't call bacon, they'll call it pig. And you'll really know where your food comes from. And I think you'll have the choices, because it's not going to be hidden anymore. We know there's, you know, thousands of cows in a hamburger patty, for example. That kind of is not attractive to even someone that eats animal products or eats beef or cow, you know. So I think we'll be saying what it is, calling it like it is, and we'll have more information. The information age is here for a good reason, and I think we'll find some good names for things. We'll just call it like it is, and I think that's what the information is showing us. You know, people say what they are, they put a picture, this is what I'm doing now, this is what I'm doing. It's calling the shots clear. There's no more rugs to hide under. Call it what it is, make your choices wisely.
So probably it's just food then, it's regular food. It's
everything's
not,
food, and
everything is food, and the other thing is probably something from the past.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Something past, I mean, maybe, you know, sugar pops, or be like, oh, that was food? They really called that food? Really? So they'll be talking about things we used to call food, and laugh, like, really? Diet soda was food?
Yeah.
Like they give that to kids in schools? No way, you know?
Let's
That's
hope
what
that,
it's going to be
let's
like.
hope that will be
Well,
like this.
it will be like that, and here's my inspiration to people that are considering or trying. If you do what's in your heart, and you think it's the right thing to do, and you want to add more vegan, or you're a chef in a restaurant, and they're not marking it vegan, or not saying, you know, making it easy for people to have these choices, make it easy. Do what you can to do it. And if it's starting a whole chain of vegan restaurants, if you think that's going to make it easier for people, do it. The world needs you, and it depends on you.
Last question, what's your favorite food? This is very difficult for a chef like you are and me are, but do you have any favorite vegan food? Or maybe it's not even vegan because we just learned later everything will be food and it will be just...
Well, it will be vegan, but it will be mostly vegan, and it will be decided on, I mean, if it's test tube meat, is it vegan? I mean, that's kind of, you know, how things are made. So my favorite food, and I've yet to veganize it perfectly, and I'm really looking forward to this day, are dumplings. So my mother was from...
Like real German potato dumplings?
Yeah,
or
but
bread
with
dumplings?
the fruit dumplings.
Wow.
In Austria, they had the Zwetschgenknädel.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Zwetschgenknädel.
So my best friend, when I grew up, she was 4, she lived over there, and she'd stick her head over the wall and say, "Is your mom making dumplings?" Till right before she passed. "Is your mom making, I'm coming into town, is your mom making dumplings?" There was nothing better with that potato dough. There's 1 egg in it. So if I can figure out how to get them light without that egg, I haven't worked on them too much because it's been one of those things where, you know, it's got to be perfect.
Yeah.
Because it was your favorite food. But if I can get that nice with the breadcrumbs, with the delicious, you know, buttered breadcrumbs.
Actually butter around, but there's a lot of things I've seen on the supermarket that can make a vegan dumpling probably.
So I'm hoping. Maybe you can help me. We'll get together.
Tanya, thank you so much for having us here. And you said there will be coming something in the future, so everyone should stay tuned.
Stay tuned for sure. Good
and
news
watch
in the future.
There will come something. Who knows? The secret that no one talks about.
Great.
But thank you so much for having us here and give us this inspirational interview.
Thank you, and have a great trip in your journeys to the United States.
Thank you so much.
Schöne Reise.
Schöne Reise. Vielen Dank. Thank you.